Chapter 1. The Wedding Crash and the First No. He left after I said no to his proposal. Twice. 2 years later he walked in with someone that left me speechless. I'm sitting in my car outside this wedding venue and I can't effing move. My hands won't stop shaking. I just saw my ex for the first time in 2 years and he looked straight through me like I was furniture. Gabriel proposed to me twice. And I said no both times because I was too focused on making partner at my law firm, too worried about losing myself in a relationship, too effing proud to admit I wanted him just as much as he wanted me. I thought he'd wait. I thought he'd always be there, ready to catch me when I was finally ready to fall. I was wrong. He's here with his fiancée, Isabel. She's everything I'm not. Delicate where I'm sharp, soft where I'm hard, collaborative where I'm competitive. She designs luxury handbags that celebrities carry. The rock on her finger could pay off my law school loans twice over. But it's not about the money. It's about how he looks at her. He used to look at me that way. When we walked into the cocktail hour, I was mid-conversation with another guest. Gabriel's eyes swept the room, landed on me for half a second and kept moving. No recognition, no awkward wave, no effing anything. Like our 4 years together were just erased. I'm a senior associate at one of the most prestigious law firms in the city. I bill $800 an hour. I've closed deals worth hundreds of millions. I don't get rattled. But right now, I'm sitting in my BMW that I bought myself, thank you very much, and I can't stop thinking about the last time he asked me to marry him. Maybe I should start from the beginning. Okay, I made it through the wedding. Barely. Currently in my apartment with a bottle of Macallan 18, a gift from a client. Perks of being a corporate lawyer. Ma's here too, making sure I don't do anything stupid like drunk text him. She keeps saying I made the right choice back then, but her eyes say different. You want to know about the first proposal? Fine. It was 3 years ago. Gabriel had just completed his first major project as lead architect, a boutique hotel. Ended up winning some prestigious design award. We were at his celebration party and I was so effing proud of him. He'd worked his ass off, barely slept for months, and it paid off. That night, he pulled me onto the balcony of the hotel's penthouse suite. The city lights were spread out below us and he got down on one knee. No warning, no discussion, just him, a ring, and that confident smile that used to make me weak. I want to build a life with you, he said. Not just buildings, a future. The ring was perfect. Not huge but elegant. He designed it himself. Had it custom made. Of course he had. That was Gabriel. Everything had to be personal, meaningful, thought out. I said no. I just made senior associate, partnership track was finally real. The managing partner had personally told me I was their top candidate for the next round of promotions. I was billing 2,500 hours a year, leading major acquisitions, making a name for myself. Marriage felt like a distraction I couldn't afford. I'm not ready, I told him. My career. Your career isn't going anywhere, he said, standing up. Not angry, just certain. Neither am I. We stayed together. He never brought up the proposal again. But something shifted. He stopped including me in his 5-year plans. Stopped talking about when we have kids and started saying, if I have kids. Subtle changes that I pretended not to notice because I was too busy reviewing contracts and preparing for depositions. 6 months later he proposed again. And that's when everything went to sh*t. Chapter 2, The Second No, and the Breakup. The Second Proposal. Santorini, Greece. Gabriel had surprised me with a trip for my birthday. I should have known something was up when he insisted on planning everything himself. Usually, I handled our travel because I'm a control freak who needs to read every review and have 3 backup plans. We were having dinner at this cliffside restaurant. Sunset, wine, the whole romantic setup that should have tipped me off. He started talking about leaving his architecture firm. I want to start my own real estate development company, he said. I'm tired of designing someone else's vision. I want to build something that's mine. I thought he was insane. He had a great job, steady income, respected position. Why throw that away for some risky venture? That's a big change, I said carefully, already mentally calculating how this would affect our financial stability. It is. He reached into his pocket and my stomach dropped. I want you to be part of it. Not just as my girlfriend, as my wife, my partner, and everything. The ring was different this time. Bigger, more elaborate. He'd been saving up, planning. He got down on one knee right there with half the restaurant watching. I'm building an empire, he said. Help me build it. I said no again. But this time it was worse. I didn't just say I wasn't ready. I told him he was being reckless, that he should focus on his stable career instead of chasing some entrepreneurial fantasy, that I couldn't marry someone who was about to throw away everything he'd worked for. He put the ring away, finished his wine, and said 5 words that I'll never forget. I'm not asking again. We broke up 2 weeks later. He moved out of our apartment while I was at a client meeting. Left a note that said, "Good luck with partnership. You'll get everything you deserve." I thought it was petty at the time. Now I realize it wasn't. Gabriel doesn't do petty. He meant it. He genuinely wished me well. He just knew he deserved better than someone who saw his dreams as reckless fantasies. Chapter 3. The empire he built without me. The wedding was for a mutual friend from law school. I knew Gabriel might be there, but I figured after 2 years, we could handle being in the same room like adults. I was wrong. When I saw him walk in, my first thought was that he looked different. Not physically, though he'd clearly been hitting the gym. It was his presence. Gabriel was always confident, but this was next level. He owned the room without trying. People gravitated toward him. Then I saw her, Isabel. She's the kind of beautiful that doesn't need Instagram filters. Tall, graceful, wearing a dress that probably cost more than most people's rent. But it wasn't her beauty that got me. It was how they moved together. Synchronized. She'd touch his arm and he'd lean in. He'd whisper something and she'd laugh. They were a unit in a way we never were. During the cocktail hour, I overheard someone asking him about his company. That's when I learned full scope of what I'd missed. His real estate development firm had just closed a $200 million deal for a mixed-use complex. He had projects in 3 cities. His company was valued at... I can't even type the number without wanting to throw up. Isabel's been incredible, I heard him say. Her connections in the fashion world opened doors I never could have reached alone. Plus, she designed all our property's interior concepts. We're actually launching a luxury home goods line together next year. They built an empire together. The empire he'd asked me to build with him. Later at the bar, I tried to catch his eye. Pathetic, I know, but I needed something. Acknowledgement that we'd shared 4 years, that I'd mattered, that I still existed in his universe. He ordered drinks, whiskey neat for him, champagne for her, and looked right through me. The bartender asked if I wanted anything, and Gabriel stepped aside to let me order like I was any other guest. Polite, distant, professional. "Gabriel," I said. He turned and for 1 second I saw a flicker of something. Then his face went neutral. "Oh hey. Nice wedding, right? Like we were effing acquaintances." Then he took the drinks and walked back to Isabel without another word. I watched them all night. Watched her fix his tie. Watched him pull out her chair. Watched them slow dance. His hand on the small of her back, her head on his shoulder. Watched them be everything we weren't because I was too scared to let us become that. The worst part, he never looked back. Not once. I spent the entire reception hyper-aware of where he was and he just lived his life. Happy, settled, over me. Chapter 4. A coffee shop confrontation. You want to know the effed up part? I ran into him today downtown at the Starbucks near my office. I was rushing between client meetings, stressed about a merger that's going sideways, and there he was, waiting for his coffee like a normal person, like he hadn't destroyed my ability to function this past week. He saw me this time. No avoiding it in a small coffee shop. "Counselor," he said with a small nod. Not my name, my title. Like we were opposing parties in a negotiation. "Gabriel." I tried to sound casual. Failed miserably. "How are you?" "Good. Busy." "You?" "Same. Just made partner." Actually, I don't know why I said it. Some pathetic need to prove I'd achieved what I'd chosen over him. "Congratulations. You worked hard for it." No sarcasm. He meant it. That almost made it worse. The barista called his name. "2 coffees. Of course." "Isabel's in the car," he explained, though I hadn't asked. "We're heading to look at properties upstate, expanding the portfolio." "That's great." I was dying inside. "I heard about the Meridian project." "Impressive." He shrugged. "Right place, right time, right partner?" "Partner, not business partner, life partner." Isabel's got an eye for what sells. She saw potential I missed. I wanted to scream that I could have been that partner, that I could have helped him build this, but I'd had my chance. 2 of them. "I should go," he said. "Good seeing you. Glad you got what you wanted." "What I wanted." "Partnership at a firm where I work 80-hour weeks defending corporations I don't give a sh*t about. An apartment I'm never in. A boyfriend I don't love. A LinkedIn profile that looks perfect and a life that feels empty." After he left, I stood there holding my coffee until the barista asked if I was okay. I wasn't. I'm not. I broke up with Raj tonight. He's a good man, successful surgeon, kind, patient. He deserves someone who doesn't spend every dinner comparing him to a ghost. Someone who doesn't secretly check her ex's company website to torture herself with his success. Ma thinks I'm being dramatic. You made the right choice, she keeps saying. You're a partner at 28. You're killing it. Am I though? Because Gabriel's killing it too and he looks happy doing it. He's building something that matters with someone who believed in him when it was just an idea. I'm billing hours and dying inside. I've started looking at old texts. We used to message each other all day. Stupid stuff. Funny memes. Him sending me building sketches. Me complaining about senior partners. The last text he ever sent me was, "Picked up your dry cleaning. It's in the closet." 2 years later and I still have that effing dry cleaning receipt in my wallet. Pathetic. Chapter 5. The Deal Table and Hard Truths. Remember that merger I mentioned going sideways? Plot twist. Gabriel's company is the buyer. I found out in the worst possible way, walking into a conference room for negotiations and seeing him at the opposite end of the table. He didn't flinch, just nodded professionally and introduced me to his team like we were strangers. "This is the seller's legal counsel. I'm sure she'll take good care of you." Not even my name, just my function. The meeting was torture. 2 hours of watching him command the room. He wasn't the Gabriel who used to sketch buildings on napkins in our kitchen. This was Gabriel the CEO. Sharp, decisive, ruthless when needed. He pushed back on terms I thought were locked. Found leverage I'd missed. Negotiated like someone who'd been doing this for decades instead of 2 years. His CFO mentioned they were funding the acquisition partly through profits from their last 3 projects. All successful, all ahead of schedule, all featuring Isabel Lauren luxury interiors that apparently added 30% to the property values. During a break, I overheard him on the phone. "Hey baby. Yeah, probably another 2 hours. I know. I'm sorry. Start dinner without me. Love you too, baby." He used to call me that. After the meeting, I thought he'd leave immediately. Instead, he stayed behind, packing up his laptop slowly. We were alone. "Your team did good work on the initial terms," he said, still professional. "Thanks." I shuffled papers I didn't need to shuffle. "Gabriel, can we should keep this professional. I'm sure you understand." He clicked his briefcase shut. "My lawyer will send over our revisions by tomorrow." "That's not what I meant." He finally looked at me. Really looked at me. "Then what did you mean?" I didn't know. I still don't. What was I going to say? That I effed up? That I think about him every day? That I've sabotaged every relationship since because no one else knows that I organize my closet by color but leave my desk a mess? That no one else calls me out on my BS or challenges me to be better? "Nothing," I said. "You're right. We should keep it professional." "Good." He headed for the door, then paused. "For what it's worth, you're one hell of a lawyer. Your client's lucky to have you." Then he was gone and I sat in that empty conference room for 20 minutes staring at his name on the signature page, wondering how we got here. Chapter 6. The Unbearable Regret. Isabel approached me at the bar. First time we'd ever spoken. "You're the lawyer on the Meridian deal, right?" she asked. "Gabriel mentioned you're excellent at what you do." That's all he'd said about me, that I was good at my job. "Thanks," I managed. "Congratulations on your engagement." She smiled and it was genuine. Not smug or territorial, just happy. "Thank you. We're planning a spring wedding. Small, intimate. Gabriel doesn't like big productions." I knew that. I knew everything about him and it didn't matter anymore. "He's lucky to have you," I said, and meant it. "We're lucky to have each other." She touched my arm gently. "He told me you two dated once. I hope this isn't too awkward for you." "What? 4 years reduced to once?" "No," I lied. "That was a long time ago." She studied me for a moment and I saw why Gabriel fell for her. She wasn't just beautiful. She was perceptive, kind, secure in a way I'd never been. "You know," she said quietly, "when we first started dating he was so careful, like he was afraid to plan too far ahead. It took him months to tell me why. He'd been burned by someone who didn't share his vision, someone who chose safety over possibility." My throat tightened. "But that's the thing about the right person," she continued. "They don't make you choose between love and ambition. They help you achieve both." She squeezed my arm once more and went back to Gabriel, who immediately pulled her into his side, whispering something that made her laugh. I left early, went home to my empty apartment with its perfect view and designer furniture in silence. So much silence. I've been thinking about what she said about not having to choose. But I did choose. I chose safety and control and the illusion that I could have everything on my timeline. I chose partnership at a firm over partnership in life. And now I'm 28 years old, successful by every metric that matters to LinkedIn, and completely effing alone. Not just single alone. Because I pushed away the one person who saw all of me, ambition and flaws and sharp edges, and loved me anyway. Gabriel's building his empire. I'm billing hours. He's creating a legacy. I'm reviewing contracts. He's waking up next to someone who believes in his dreams. I'm waking up to emails and an empty bed. I won. I got everything I said I wanted. So, why does it feel like I lost everything that mattered?